We're at Lovers Lane United Methodist Church, where local nonprofit Rainbow Days is putting homeless youth center stage at Camp Bravo. Summer is usually a time for fun in the sun, but for youth living in homeless shelters, activities offered are few and far between. Rainbow Days offers 5-week-long camps to provide experiential opportunities to these deserving kids. This is a very special episode of Dallas Social Cafe, highlighting a performance by some amazing kids in our community, overcoming some big obstacles, and most of all, learning to love themselves. Hi, I'm D'Andra Simmons, and this is a show you don't want to miss. Well, today I'm with Cathey Brown, who's the founder and CEO of Rainbow Days Incorporated. Hi, Cathey.
Hi.
Welcome to Dallas Social Cafe. Let's talk about how your story began with Rainbow Days.
Okay. Well, our story actually began almost 34 years ago right here at Lovers Lane United Methodist Church.
Okay.
It was me and a group of 7 young children who ranged in age from about 6 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing they all had in common, and myself included, is that we all had an alcoholic parent in our life.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And so I took my teaching and counseling experience and did the first support group for children of alcoholics in the city.
Mm-hmm.
That was back in 1982.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are almost 34 years later, and there's about 150, 160 children participating in today's program.
I know, it's grown so much. Since you talked about being the first being children of an alcoholic parent,
Mm-hmm.
how has that evolved? I mean, the children and the families you help today, are they still basically in that particular realm,
Mm-hmm.
or have you expanded out into other realms?
We've expanded. One of, I guess the main common denominator that all the children that we serve on an annual basis is that they've had some type of adverse experience in their life. And oftentimes it's to the degree that it's very traumatic for them.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the children that we work with do live in poverty, and that presents a whole host of problems as well. Many live in single-parent families. Some live in neighborhoods that are less desirable. And so what we want to do is help them grow into the people that we know they can become despite their current situation today. So we teach them the life skills, the healthy way to make choices, the healthy way to have relationships, and we do all of that through the support group model that we've designed and evaluated over the last 30 plus years.
So let's talk about some of those programs that you have at Rainbow Days that help these children.
Well, the core of what we do is a support group that's based on a curriculum that we've developed and tested. And we have different adaptations depending on the age of the children or where the children are located. So we do a lot of our groups in schools, but like today's program that we're focusing on, we work with about 26 different homeless shelters in the Dallas area. And some of these are domestic violence shelters, some are more emergency, some are transitional and longer term housing developments. But all of these children have experienced homelessness, which, you know, I can't even imagine experiencing that as an adult. So as a young child,
As a child, oh my gosh.
yeah, it's extremely traumatic. And so through the support groups that we go in year round and offer them, they have the opportunity to be with a caring adult mentor who is there to support them, encourage them, let them know they're accepted for who they are and not what they do, and teach them these important life skills. And then during the summer, we really sort of triple the dosage, if you will, through all of the different camps and summer activities that we have for the children.
Now, this particular day, this performance, is this the culmination of Camp Bravo, which is an important part of what you do?
It is. Well, we do several different kinds of camps, an educational camp that we did in June, and an outdoor camp we'll do in August. But this camp is a performing arts camp, because one of the things that we know, both from our experience as well as what research tells us, is that the arts can be very healing for children. And that's both visual arts as well as performing arts. So this camp blends both of those, and today is the culmination of that, where they get to perform for an audience, including staff from the church, visitors who are supporters of Rainbow Days, as well as their parents.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the performance. I know that they've been studying dance all week and theater and all these different fun activities, and even pottery and things of that nature too, I was reading. So I'm really looking forward to the performance, and I thank you so much for taking the time to explain about Rainbow Days, because I think this is a program that many people in the community will support. And I know that I was talking before with one of your friends and colleagues, and she told me that you had won so many awards for your work on this behalf, and I want to commend you on that.
Well,
and thank you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you. The greatest reward always is seeing the smiles on the children's faces and knowing that they have had a good time and that they know they're a valuable, precious person and that they can rise above the challenges that they're facing. So thank you for giving us this exposure. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Come with me as I watch the excited children of Rainbow Days performing in front of a live audience with Eddie Coker at Lovers Lane United Methodist Church.
So here we go with song number 1. Kids, to be happy and healthy must learn to sing. And this is our song called A Cappella, Green. What happened to your bodies? What happened to your bodies? You should be moving to the groove. Green was a big old guy, but I tell you what, he was mighty shy. He was born in a tiny town, across the sea in the country called Italy. But Italy is famous for its apricot. Like a green was the best by far. But as I said, he was timid as a little mouse, and he ran in the blood of his mouth. Here we go! I want you guys just to settle in. It's going to be a long show. Mr. Coker likes to sweat a lot when he sings, so at the end of our 2.5-hour concert, I will be drenched in sweat. I will get on the plane and fly back to Colorado. I will be smelling like a man, and my wife will... Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to do the woo-woo dance. Okay. I love you, too. Everybody say goodbye to Michelle. Goodbye. I am. Come on. Do it by yourselves so they can hear you. Right. Every once in a while, floating from the semimetal to the sea, that little woo-woo dance. Let's go! Let's do this side over here. Let's do this side over here. That's wonderful. Excellent. So everybody stand up on your feet. I want to teach you how to do the woo-woo dance, okay? Yeah, everybody stand up on your feet. You guys over there into the back. Take your left hand, make it.
Wow, there's lots of energy in that room. I love watching the smiles of the kids' faces as they experience the joy of performing with Eddie Coker and participating in Camp Bravo's show. We're here at the Lovers Lane United Methodist Church for the Rainbow Days Camp Bravo performance. And I'm speaking now with Kelly, Miss Kit Kat. I love that name. Kelly, tell us all about Camp Bravo and Rainbow Days and what you all do, because it's so fascinating. I got to see the show, so it was so much fun.
Well, we are providing a camp for our homeless children. We work with about 26 sites, and we bus them in to have a chance to be on stage. When Cathey Brown started the program, her daughter was an actress, and we wanted these children to all have a chance to be on a stage, have somebody clapping for them, they get Oscars at the end, and hopefully a standing ovation.
Well, they had a lot of fun today, and I had a lot of fun, and I love the positive messaging throughout the whole show, and they all were getting up and dancing, and it was so much fun to watch those kids. Tell me a little bit about Rainbow Days and what actually the services you provide. I know Camp Bravo is one thing that you do, and you have other events coming up as well. So tell us about what you all do.
Well, Camp Bravo is one of our summer camps. We have 5 summer camps in the summer. We have so many children that want to come. We have a waiting list that we provide 2 Camp Bravos, 2 kids' universities, and then we have an actual outdoor camp. And we wanted to provide these camps for these homeless kids because we don't want them to be sitting at the shelter and have nothing to do. And what better way than to work with a church and Eddie Coker and to have them experience the arts. We had all kinds of arts, music this week, and introduced them to the arts, and then they perform today. And next camp is an outdoor camp where they'll be swimming, horseback riding, and just doing zip line and all kinds of things that other kids do. And so when they go back to the shelter and go back to school, when they go back to school, the kids, if kids say, "What did you do this summer?" they can say, "I went swimming and I was on stage," and they can have some of those same experience that other children have.
Now, during the school year, what other things happen with you all in your program?
In the school year, so we stop with the back to school party and try to recover, and then the next thing we'll have is Saturday with Santa, where we do a movie and have Santa Claus come, and we give stockings to all the children, a little something to the parents. We also provide an Easter event where we have the Easter Bunny and Easter eggs, and again the smiles and fun carnival games type thing. Then we have just other events that come up during the year. If anyone wants to help us fund those, we sometimes have something with like the Perot Museum or going to the zoo. But it's always a chance for the parents and children to kind of have some time together and also alone from their parents, and just learning life skills so that we can reinforce the major messages that we teach at Rainbow Days.
You've been involved, you said 23 years, is that right?
23 years.
So over the 23 years, so I guess you've seen kids come from elementary through junior high to graduating from high school and kind of seen a whole transition in their lives, correct?
Yes, and it is so exciting sometimes when I first see kids, they're so quiet and they won't talk, and then it's so neat to see them blossom and gain those self-confidence. Our major messages, you heard some of them today: I am, I can, I have, I will, I believe, I dream. Those, if you keep saying those, you start believing in yourself, and it builds their confidence, and you can really see a change in these personalities, their lives, and you see dreams that were very small and then to bigger dreams about, being the president even. We have those with some of these kids.
Have you seen any of the children after they've graduated, have they ever come back to you and
yes,
said,
it's happened.
Where their life is?
I hate to say, because I'm getting, I feel like I'm getting old, but I actually saw a child that I saw when she was 8 years old, and she is now in college, and her dream is to be a doctor. And then I also had a child that came and did an internship with Rainbow Days. She was in the program as a little girl, and she still had her name tag from the outdoor camp. And I almost started crying, because it was like, that's how important it was to her. And she said she remembered having that out time, just being away and stress-free and just swimming and having fun, and she kept her name tag.
That's such a blessing. I love hearing those stories. In fact, you're making me tear up right now hearing those stories. Tell everyone, if they want to get involved and learn how to help Rainbow Days or support Rainbow Days, tell them your website.
We would love for anyone that would like to be involved to go to our website, which is www.rainbowdays.org. They will learn many opportunities to either volunteer, to help us with our summer camps financially, to help us with in-kind donations. It's all there on our website. And then our phone number is 214-887-0726.
Well, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I know you must be tired because this is the end of a very long week.
I'm very tired, but it was so worth it to see those children's faces today and the smiles and laughter.
Well, it was worth it for me to be here too, because just the message, like I said, of loving yourself and feeling good about yourself. I'm carrying that through the weekend. So thank you for letting me be a part of the celebration today here at Lover's Lane for Camp Bravo and Rainbow Days.
Thank you.
Dallas Social Cafe would like to thank Baylor, Scott, and White for their closed captioning sponsorship.
What does it mean to be a servant? Is it about changing sheets? Yes, servants change sheets. And hearts. And minds. And history. And tomorrow. And how many birthday parties there will be. Servants change everything.
Now we're talking with Eddie Coker, who for the last 25 years has written music, taught, and performed for over 1 million children all over the USA from elementary school to high school. Eddie, welcome to Dallas Social Cafe.
Hey, thank you for having me.
And I just got to see a wonderful performance that you actually did with these children here in the Rainbow Days program. So tell us about the program that you orchestrated for them today.
Yeah, today is just the traditional Eddie Coker show that I've been doing since the early 90s, how to build a happy, healthy human. So basically we, press the accelerator down and go nuts and have fun and sweat and sing and learn kind of some very simple concepts about how to build that happy, healthy human. So.
And I loved how engaged they were and excited they were. And what I took away, which I think you'll be glad to hear, is how to love ourselves. Yeah. That's the main thing, because I heard you say that, and they got into that, and I thought we all need to learn that lesson. No matter who we are, what walk of life we're in, or where we've come from. So I think those kids also took that away today, and I was excited to see them embrace that.
The running the bases. Yeah.
Tell us about your involvement with Rainbow Days, because I know you've been involved in them for a long time, how that got started and how you got to participate with this.
Well, we started in the late 80s. I had written a drug prevention musical called Goodbye, Mr. Lie. And beyond being the writer, had to put it all together, had to find a cast of people, but I had no way of raising funds, so I didn't want to start my own nonprofit. So I found a like-minded nonprofit who was doing the same type of business, and they were so gracious to allow me to go out and raise funds to get us up and going. So we did summer programs all over the city of Dallas.
Now, when you're not doing these kind of shows, the other shows you're doing around the United States, is that all in the same vein, or is that just different kind of entertainment? Or
yeah,
what?
Everything's switching to Wesmore. So we have an enormous effort that's kind of coming together. What I typically say is that we're trying to inject into pop culture the values that you saw today in our program, self-love. So instead of it being a self-help book, or instead of it being somebody out there that may be a psychologist, try to figure out a way to inject it into pop culture so that loving oneself becomes, second nature. And right now there's drug use and abuse and hatred and there's violence and all of the racial tension that's going on. So it's like, okay, well, let's come on the other side of that thing and see if we can't turn it positive.
I'm sure you probably see bullying too with these kids as a big thing, because in the last few years there's been a lot of talk about that as well. What do you hope to take away from today when you get back on the plane and go back home?
Besides wondering why I never sing, it's so weird. It's just like the older I get, I'm a dad, I've got a 17 and a 15-year-old, and all of those obligations and the obligations of starting the new nonprofit. I never sing. I never sing anymore. And so I used to be an opera singer. And
I heard some of it on stage.
Well, and you're constantly having to take care of yourself. But now it's like singing's the last thing I do. So I get in the car, come over here, and I'm like, and hope that you have something, and then you just get up there and do it. So, I'll probably get back on the plane and go, I probably should sing a little bit more, and take a nap.
How did you get, the last question I wanted to ask you is, how did you get into children's entertainment? Because I find that so fascinating.
Yeah. I was doing operas, and basically it was as simple as this. I don't want to live in hotels for the rest of my life. I just can't do it. And I literally was sitting in a hotel in Chicago in 1989. I said, I got to stop this. I got to figure out a way to end it. So I started doing operas for children, and I wrote the drug prevention musical back around a little bit before the '89 time. But I just said I got to do something where I'm home. I want to be a dad who's teaching my kids the football team and the soccer team, and be that kind of father and that kind of entertainer. So just figured out a way of staying very localized, and just building up Texas is kind of my base. So I sing around the country, but mainly, I come to Dallas and I spread out through Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk with us today on Dallas Social Cafe, and for sharing your talent and your your goodwill and your hope, and you emanate such a great caring for these children. I know they see that, and I know they appreciate it, and you're giving them hope, and like I said, you're teaching them how to love themselves no matter what situation they're in, so they can grow up and be really productive members of our community, and I thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for what y'all are doing.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you share our show with others important to you. We would love for them to join us each week. Please join the conversation on our Facebook page and watch all of our episodes on our YouTube channel. Until next time, be grateful and giving.